Market update here on the 19th. So we trickled down pretty much all day, trying to determine what this is and if we bottomed already. It's too early to tell. We know that this is the fifth wave. This is a shallow fourth wave. So let's go on lower time frames. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3 after 1, 2. We bounce. We know this is not a B wave anymore. It went too far. And so we're looking now at this being a fifth wave. Question is, did we bottom here, or is this only the first wave of 5 waves within the fifth wave? The reason I say it's a possibility is if this is the A wave, the 1.61 fib takes it to about 382. 382 is right around the 0.5 fib for this. So for that reason, if this ABC move happens up here, we could potentially see another 5-wave move lower. It would take us all the way down to 370 basically. And that would be right in the weekly demand. It would pass the daily demand and be right in the weekly demand. So that's a possibility, or we bottomed. If we bottomed already, we're looking for 394.41 to 398.25 for a second wave. That would also be right in demand here. So we have demand right up here. Let me zoom over here. Yeah, so I would guess that when we do bounce, if we did bounce from today, we're looking for a minimum of 396.46. If we go all the way down to 370, and that ends up being an extended fifth wave, then we're looking at a 0.5 retrace to 390, potentially all the way up to 395.11, probably going to demand either way. So probably hit 396.46 either way. So big bounce should be coming. It's just a matter of we bottomed here or we're going to bottom down to 370. We will see what happens, but I would consider this a second wave, and then we would get a third wave to a minimum of 358. Which is interesting too, because if we bottom today at 378, the 1.61 fib would still be in the weekly demand zone. Not that it matters too much, I just thought that was kind of interesting that the 1.61 fib would still be in there. Let's go on to VIX. The VIX is kind of a non-indicator right now. Not doing much, and it was actually negative today while SPY was negative. I'm expecting it to drop more over the next couple of days for SPY to bounce, so I can imagine it going to 1920 one more time, and then getting a big spike after that. We'd be looking at potentially all the way up to 30, but then again, I can't really predict the movements using technical analysis on VIX, but I would expect to come down to 1920 and then bounce after that, probably to 30 plus. The dollar, same thing, not really moving today. Looks like it could be in either a beginning diagonal or a ABC move. So we got A, B, and we're working on a C wave. I would look for 105.50. We'll see what happens with it. Maybe it comes down more first, but I'm looking for at least 105.50 based on where we finish on this. And then if it was a beginning diagonal, we'd be looking for probably around the same area. It probably wouldn't go as high as this beginning diagonal. But C wave, we're probably looking at 105.50. We can look at demand zones on here as well, short-term demand zones. And I think that anywhere between 105.82 and 104.88 will probably be where it tops out and then pulls back first. QQQ hit the demand zone like literally on the dot that I drew from last time at 268. I think same thing as SPY. It could keep on going. Could have bottomed right here. If it bottomed right here, I'm looking for a bounce to a minimum of 282.86. probably in the supply zone here at 283 and 291, and then a big move lower to potentially at least 250, potentially all the way down to 222. So we'll see how that one goes. Dow Jones, same thing, barely hit the demand zone today. Looking for a bounce to a minimum of 33.6 all the way down to 34.2, right in the supply zone. Probably going to be the same thing. We zoom out here. It's just W, A, B, C, X, and then we're looking for probably minimum of about 2,000 less than this. I would guess, I already have it marked down here, 27,000, potentially all the way down to 25,000, something like that. If we zoom out here on the weekly time frame, there's a demand zone right here on the weekly. That's actually right there. So maybe just down to here. If it were to break that, then we're probably looking at, let's see where the monthly is. I don't think it's going to go that far. I'd be looking at this demand zone the most, probably down here to 26.7. Potentially, it doesn't go that much farther down. You look at the top of this, we got 34.5, 36.9. I'm looking for, as this being the W right here, the end of it right here, I'm looking for probably 26, 27,000, something like that. So it's got a ways to go as well. IWM, kind of weird, but it hit the demand zone too. It looks more, we got W right here. I don't know. IWM looks a little bit different to me, but I think it's just the ABC move. It looks like an actual ABC move. We're on SPY. It looks like it could be an ABC move, ABC right here. So we'll have to see how that goes. If it ends up being a 5-wave move, then we're looking for a bounce to 175 and then another move down to probably down here to another demand zone, which would be 166 to 164, something like that. We'll see how that goes. IWM is a little bit different of a chart, and I haven't been focusing on it as much, so maybe I'll chart that more in depth here soon. Bitcoin is down as well. Looking for a short-term bounce here soon, though. Again, if you look at the demand zones and supply zones, you got demand here at, it already hit it actually. Demand zone right here, 16.5, and then the supply zone is up here at 17.2 to 17.8. So I'm looking for a bounce when SPY bounces, probably up into that level, and then another move down after that. The next move after that will probably be pretty big. So I think in the next couple of weeks, we're going to see a huge move down in pretty much all of stocks and crypto. I think that's it for today. I'll look at yields one time, and then I'll leave it at that. I'll show you one more thing after this. Yields were basically flat. So still looking for yields to spike up here a little bit farther. Again, this chart's kind of weird though, because I have it labeled as ABC, which would indicate more upside for SPY. And we'll see what happens though. It looks kind of funky compared to all the other charts. The other thing I was going to point out is I had this as potentially being ABC. It went past the 1.61 fib today. So 1.61 fib is here at 379.79. We went past it a little bit. Doesn't necessarily invalidate it, but normally expanded flats don't go past the 1.61 fib. And what I had drawn up after this move, if that were to happen, was a 5-wave move that would take it all the way up to like 430 and do a double top with the August highs. We hit 378 today, 30 points higher than the low, 30 points higher than 411 is around 441. So I'm not gonna like say this is not possible, but I would say it's less likely now. I think that second wave pullback, third wave down here is more likely. So that's pretty much it. Let me know what you think in the comments. How'd you do today? I luckily held on to my puts down to 379.50 because when we were trickling down, I didn't know for sure if the move was done or not, but my puts are for like March and April, and so I didn't care. If it would have bounced, I have sold puts and I have a few calls that would make money. And so I ended up selling some at 379.50, and then I actually added more puts for a little bit farther out, just in case we bounce. I actually wanted to bounce at this point, but I'm fine with averaging into my puts. So if we go all the way up to 390, I'll just buy in a lot cheaper and get my average down, because they're for April, March. So I have plenty of time, and then I have calls and sold puts as well. So I haven't been doing that much day trading lately because I feel like it's kind of pointless just with how the market's moving right now. If we start getting like more wild swings in the VIX, then I think I'll probably start trying to do a little bit more day trading. But for now, it's just loading up puts 3 or 4 months out, doing hedges with like SQQQ, and that's pretty much it. Just watching. I have Tesla too. I had some Tesla sold puts. I have puts on Tesla. So a lot of different things going on, but we should be close to the bottom unless we get this extended 5th wave down to 370. So that's it. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like and subscribe for more updates, and I'll talk with you tomorrow.